Hello everybody, it's Anne from Anne's Stampin' Up. Welcome to another card making day here in Simcoe, Ontario, where I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. If you live in Canada and you don't have your own demonstrator, you can shop with me. You can reach me at stampsandtea@gmail.com, or my demonstrator website is stampsandtea.stampinup.net. So we have a couple of new products to work with today. One is a suite of products that's going to be in the September mini catalogue, the September to December mini catalogue. The other one is something that became available on July the 1st. Originally it was only available to people who signed up as a new demonstrator. That's what I want to say, new demonstrators. But it was so popular and the Stampin' Up had so many requests for it, they made it available to the general public. So I'm going to turn the camera down and we'll get started, and I'll show you these lovely products for today. So the first thing I'm going to show you today is this brand new set of products. This is a glass mat, tempered glass. It's scratch resistant and stain resistant. It's great for stamping on. It has inches on two sides and centimeters on two sides, so it's great for measuring your cards and lining up your cards. You have a silicone mat here, which is you've got 4 little squares. They say they're for holding stamping spots or for mixing your color in, you know. They're great because stuff won't slide on them. And you've got a silicone mat for your adhesive here. You could also, if you are careful, turn it over and use it this way for your adhesive. And you've got a cleaning cloth. This is kind of like the chamois. You wet it and it will clean the glass, clean the silicone, and do all that for you. I'm just going to pop those out of the way. The whole set, all 3 pieces, is $82, and it is available in the catalogue right now. Now the only problem I have is my overhead lights, and I can't turn those off because it would be too dark. And I don't really think I've got, oh wait a minute, maybe I could put a foam mat there. Let's see. Yep, that would work. That'll hide the glare from the lights, but it'll leave the lights on for me. And there's my silicone mat, which I'm going to need anyway while I'm working. What do I want to show you next? I'm going to show you next this beautiful new suite of products that is going to be available in the September to December mini catalogue. It's called Winterly Treetops. It comes with a beautiful birchwood 3D folder, embossing folder. You have the Winterly Treetops stamps and dies, lovely stamps and dies. Not necessarily Christmas, you know. The sayings are sending thanks and much love, thinking of you always, and a friend like you brings me happiness. They look kind of Christmassy. They have birds and boughs and berries and things on, and this, if you were careful, you could make a wreath with. But it's not necessarily a Christmas set, but it could easily be used for Christmas. So you've got the birch embossing folder, you've got the stamp set with the dies, you've got this beautiful designer series paper, beautiful birds on, and the birds in the die set, cut out some of the birds in here, as you can see where I've cut a piece out. Beautiful Christmassy colours on the back. A lovely wood green, lots of little birds and a green stripe. This one here has a die that will cut out the 2 birds. It's beautiful. Lovely diamonds on the back, like a pool party in diamonds. Lovely birds in the forest there, and almost like thistles on the back. Beautiful page where you could cut it in half, you know, and you've got a gorgeous border for your scrapbook page or anything, and just a little bit of basic beige on the back. And then you've got this one, which it almost reminds me of Pussy Willows. It's nice, and it's the one with the wood green on the back, and that's the piece of paper we are going to use today, the wood green on the back. So I've got some basic supplies here. what do I have? What color is my card? My card is Pebbled Path. Now that's a strange card for a strange color for a Christmas card, but when you see it, you'll see that it works really nicely. I have that would be 11 inches by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I've got a piece of 5 1/4 by 5 1/4 by 4 basic weight for the inside. I've got a piece to stamp some birds on, a piece to stamp some sentiment on, and I've got the wood green DSP, and that piece was 4 3/4 by 3 inches, and I cut it into 3 1-inch strips. So let's start, I think, by stamping the birds. We're going to stamp these 2 birds, and we're going to color them with alcohol markers. I'm going to make these into cardinals. So I've got real red, I've got some crumb cake, I've got some pecan pie, basic black, I've got a bit of color lifter there in case I get too heavy. And what else? What is this one? Oh, soft suede for my branches. So I'll put those over there, put the envelope out of the way and this out of the way, and all I really need right now is this piece. That's all the stamping I'm going to do for now, and I'm going to use basic black for this. Okay, and I've got something to clean my stamp. Now because this is a fairly big stamp, I'm going to turn it over, put it face down. I gotta try and keep that over the lights. And I'm going to turn it face down, and I'm going to dab the stamp pad onto I'm going to dab the ink pad onto the stamp because it's a bigger stamp, and this way I can see right now that it's all covered. So we've got that there, and I'm just going to pop this onto this piece of basic white. It's a scrap, it's about, I don't know, maybe 5 by 4. Beautiful, stamped, lovely. I got to remember I've got to move up into the camera as well. So you see that stamped really nicely. I'm just cleaning off my stamp there. I'll put that over to that side. So we've got some basic, we've got some markers here. We're going to colour these birds. Now, you know, I forget to talk when I'm colouring, so I'll show you. I'm going to make this a male cardinal and this a female. I'm going to colour the berries in using real red, and the branches I'm going to use some light soft suede for. The female cardinal, who is kind of a brown colour, I've got light crumb cake for. So I'm going to start colouring. I may turn the camera off, and then I will come back and you'll see the finished product. Now we're going to use light crumb cake for the female cardinal, and again we're just going to colour this all over just like that, and we'll give us some little bit of extra colour when we're ready, when we've filled all of this in. I think we might stick with real red and just give us some a little bit of colour, maybe just a little bit down there, a little bit on our wings maybe, and I'm trying to go as light as I can, and I'm going to use the colour lifter to see if I can lift some of that red off, because it's really quite dark. I'm just giving her a little bit of colour there. Let's see what we can do with this colour lifter. It looks just like a white marker, has the same points, a brush point and a pencil point, and I'm just going to spread my colour around with it. There, we're going to leave it just like that. We're going to go over it again with the basic beige, not basic beige, light crumb cake. Just go over it again, and that just helps to blend the colours in. There. Now I'm going to take the dark real red and using the pencil point again, and I'm going to colour in the parts of the berries. You know, the berries have a little piece on the end here. I'm not sure you can see it very well. Let's see, can I do this? Yeah, see, they have a little white piece here, so I'm going to leave that and colour that piece in light real red. There we go, we're almost finished. That looks good. A little bit of, oh, let's give, what do we got? Is this dark real red? Yes. Let's give this little dude some shading. And then we'll go over that again with the light real red just to blend it in. And when it dries, it will sort of settle down so that it doesn't look like shading, you know, it'll all meld together nicely. There. So what do we need? We need light real red for a little bit on the berries, and then we're going to take this over to the Big Shot, to the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and we're going to cut it out. We have a lovely die for that, it works perfectly. There. Oops, a little bit more. There. Alright, so where are my dies? I've got this die here, this big one, and it will go right over that nicely, just like this. I'm going to tape it down because I don't want it to move. Looks pretty good there. I'll just put one more piece on the tail. Let me lift that up. Just pushing this tail a little bit. So I'm taking this to the Big Shot and I'll be right back. Get rid of this markers out of the way. Let's see what we've got. Oh, there, that punched out nicely. It does leave quite a bit of white around, which you could trim if you wanted to. I'm not going to, I'm just going to leave it as it is. And I'll put this die back in here. I think it goes like that, something like that. Right, so let's put this card together. Get rid of that. We can do the rest of our stamping now. We've got some real red ink, which matches the real red we used for the cardinals, and we've got a piece of cardstock for the inside, and we've got a piece of cardstock for a sentiment. So the inside is going to say, "May your season be filled with warmth and cheerful celebration." Now this stamp and the other one we're going to use, the Season's Greetings, they are from the Greetings of the Season stamp set, which we used last week as part of the Golden Greenery. When we did the Golden Greenery card, it was either last week or the week before, but these two stamps are in this set, and that's just a stamp set that has lots and lots of nice sentiments in, inked up nicely. Let's see, lovely, lovely. I think I just put my fingers in the red ink. And the other one this is for the inside. This says Season's Greetings, and we're going to cut this out. I'm going to go right to as close to the bottom as we can. Yep, Season's Greetings, that's nice. We've got what do we have? We have a punch that we're going to punch the sentiment out, and the punch is called Banner's Pick-a-Punch, and you get 3 that will punch out with an arrow and 3 that will punch out with a notch. You've got 3 different sizes, a 1/2 inch, 3/4 and 1 inch, and that's for each. That's a really good punch. That's 6 punches for you know, on one punch, so that's a really good deal. Let me bring in my cutter, and I'm just going to trim this sentiment down and to make it as close to about 1 inch as I can. That's good. Let's go this way. Can we do 1 inch? Don't think so. Let me have a look. No, we're going to have to go 1 1/4 inches, but that's okay. I'll show you how to measure the how to put the card in the punch so that it works. Now we're going to go, let's have a look, about a 1/2 inch past my print there, and about a 1/2 inch past here. We need to trim a little bit off. That looks good. Okay, so we're going to take the punch, and normally you would put your card stock in like this. I'm going to turn my card upside down. Now you see it is just, let me get this, we want it notched, so we're going to use this side, but you see it's just a bit wider. So when I put it in, I'm going to put it in face down because I don't want to cut off any of the lettering, but I'm going to look at where it sits here, and what will happen is I'll have a little bit hanging over on each side. If you can see there and there, I've got a little bit hanging over on each side. So you just put your card in, turn it over, make sure it's nice and straight against the end here, and I'm just going to punch that out. There we go. Now you see you get these little tabs left on there, but they just trim off with the scissors in a second. I'll just put this back in the other way, the other end in, make sure it's nice and straight. And it sort of butts up against the end of the punch, you know. There. Let's just take a pair of scissors here, and we're just going to lie the scissors against the edge, trim that off, do the same over here. There. And this glass mat is great for scooping the little bits up that you don't, you know, that gets stuck on your sponge mat. Remove that. So there we've got a nice Season's Greetings sentiment. So now we can put this card together. Just lock that up. We've got Pebbled Path for the card, and I'm going to get out my ruler because I want this to be nice and straight. Now I could, if I was smart, let me just press that card. I'm just giving that an extra burnish so it will lie down flat. I could sort of use my measurements on here, but I know what I'm doing with my ruler, you know, so I'll play with the measurements on the glass mat at another time. So I've got my silicone mat here, I've got my 3 strips of cardstock, and I've got some liquid adhesive, and I'm using liquid adhesive because I want to be able to line up my two. I need to be able to push them around if I have to. Okay, so there's the first one. Now I'm going to put my ruler down at 3/8 of an inch. My mark on my ruler, my 3/8 of an inch mark on my ruler is right there, running along the bottom of my card. I'm going to take my first piece of DSP, and it's going to go 3 inches in from the side, and it's going 3/8 of an inch, sorry, 3/8 of an inch in from the side, and it's going to go 3/8 of an inch from the bottom. There and there. So I'm counting 1, 2, 3. I'm going to lay it right there. Make sure it's nice and straight on the edge of my ruler. Give it a little press. That's the first one down. I'm going to leave my ruler where it is, on the 3/8 mark. Take another piece, and I'm going to line this up 3/8 of an inch from the other side. So I've got my 3/8 along the bottom, and I'm counting in 1, 2, 3/8, and my outside edge is going 2, 3 against this, and I'm just sort of looking up the side to make sure that it's quite straight. It looks straight. There, there. I'm going to put this on here, and I should have a 1/4 inch either side of this strip when I put this strip in the middle. So it's going to go right up against the 3/8 of an inch, and I'm going to move it over. I've got 1, 2, and 1, 2. 2/8 is a 1/4 of an inch. That piece doesn't look quite straight. Hold on a second. There's my 3/8. Yes, there we go. So I've got 3 nice strips. Now the spaces in the middle are not as important as the distance around the outside. It's always nice if you can have the same border width, top and bottom. These pieces in the middle, they're not so important because usually you're putting something over them, so when you look at them you don't look straight down the whole length of the thing, where you look down the length of there and the length of there and across there and across there. They are the most important parts, your outside edges. Alright, so we've got the birds that we coloured, and we're gonna, let me put the glue on, the lid on the glue. We're gonna put the birds up on dimensionals. I'm just doing one there, one there. Whoops. Let's take that one off and move them over. Just a little bit. There. I've got them. And I'm going to put the cut edge of the branch right up to the side of the card, and this bird's head is going to be about 1/2 inch from the top of the DSP, right about there. Then we've got the season's greetings, it's going up on dimensionals. It's just going to probably overlap the bird's tail. It might just tuck under the bird's tail. We'll have a look and see how it looks best. I think we'll tuck it under there and on top of there, just like that, and make sure it's straight across the bottom there. Now I've got some gems here, little red gems. They're very old. They're called red rhinestone basic jewels. I don't know if I want to put them on or not. Let me just put the inside in the card first before I forget, and then we'll think about the gems. There. Just going to turn that over, give it a good press. Right. So let's look at these little gems and see if we want to put a couple on the front of the card. Gems are always a nice touch. Now these are, honestly, I couldn't tell you how old they are. Let's have a look. Well, let's put one there. Let's go one there. We're going to go 5 because 3 is just not going to be enough, I don't think. One in there. I never know where to tuck the gems, I really don't. One there, one more. Just put him up there. There. Actually, I think they look nice on the card now that it's finished. So there it is, today's card, Winterly Treetops, quick Christmas card. My own design. If you want to copy and share, please do so, and if you sell your cards, please put the Stampin' Up Angel stamp on the back, which just says all the supplies used are Stampin' Up supplies. Thanks for watching, everybody, and have a great week. See you next week. Bye.